So I'm Emily MacArthur. I was at the University of Liverpool studying law, but now I'm back home in Leigh. I was only in my bedroom, and I can't remember this, but apparently I had a really bad headache. I was just being sick constantly. And then we managed to get me to the Liverpool Royal. Obviously, they did a CT scan, saw that my brain was bleeding, and then thought, oh, right, we should probably take her a bit more seriously. And then took me to the Walton Centre. I was in the Walton Centre's ICU for about 20 weeks. I'd had a bleed on the brain, and that had caused 2 strokes that both happened at the same time. And then I had a craniotomy, where they take your skull out. So now obviously I have to wear a helmet. Not got it with me right now, but I would show you. But now I've got no skull on the right hand side. A lot of my hair fell out. I used to have really long blonde hair, and I had to dye it all brown and cut it all off because it just went horrible. But yeah, so far I lost my ability to eat, to drink, to talk, walk, literally, well, everything you really need in your life, to be honest. And obviously I was at university, so that wasn't great. And they found out that the bleed was on it's called the occipital lobe, which is the bit that helps you see. So now I've been registered as blind. I can still see some things, I just can't. Everything's very blurry to me. That's probably the worst part, to be honest. But they told me that I wasn't going to survive, so all the surgeons, all the rehab people are all kind of like, how's this happened? They're all like, this doesn't make sense. So I had the craniotomy, and I was asleep for about, 10 weeks. And then basically they just started, I don't really remember much of it at the Walton Centre, but I remember they started to bring me round, and then obviously I couldn't speak because they had a tracheostomy in. So I had to learn to write down on a whiteboard, which was obviously pretty hard because I lost most of the function in my hands, and still today my hands are really shaky. So no one could ever understand what I'd written down, which was pretty frustrating. But so I did that, and then they slowly started getting me to it was standing up. I'd literally just stand up, and then slowly with about 10 people around me, they get me to walk, which was quite funny. But and then slowly I started to walk, but there was 2 people next to me. There had to be 2 people with me at all times if ever I walked. So that was at the Walton Centre, and the rehab at the Walton Centre was unmatched. They were absolutely amazing, and it kind of helped that they were quite young, like me, so they probably don't see a lot of young people, to be honest, in the day-to-day life. But yeah, it did help that they were young, but they were absolutely amazing. They were just so friendly, so kind. So I don't even know, just really friendly. And every day they'd be like, "Oh, it's Emily." They'd make a fuss out you, which you kind of want when you're in that kind of position. And it was really fab. So that was at the Walton Centre. And then I went to Sid Watkins, which is obviously around the Walton Centre. I had rehab there, where it was the little things like just starting to walk again. I used to make my breakfast. It was literally all just trying to walk. I went on the treadmill and stuff, on the, I don't know what it's called, but the one that bounces you around. That machine. And then I was only in Sid Watkins for a month, and then because they told me I'd be in there for at least 3 months. And then I had my first goal meeting, and they said, no, like, you need to be at level 2. And I was like, oh, that's fine by me. I'll take that. So then I went to St Helens, 7 Speed, where obviously, like, I really learnt to walk. That's the first time that I was, like, independent walking. Obviously, I have to use, like, a little granny walker, but it gets me around. I have a walking stick as well for, like, short distances. If I'm just going around the house now, I can kind of get myself around the house without anything, which I never thought I'd be able to walk again. So I have my own little room, and the therapists were really nice. And I don't even know how long I spent in there. Not very long, because, well, I came out on the 13th of October, and I think I went in there at the end of August, so that's literally the first time I started being independent, really. And I was allowed to be independent around my room, so I didn't have to ring the bell every time I literally wanted to get up and get something. I could just do it myself, which was a big bonus. I'm okay. I just struggle, really, because I can't see much. That's the biggest thing. I can totter around the house, you know what I mean? Which is not too bad. I don't mind that part. And I go every day for a walk up the road with my mum. I know it sounds a bit bland, but it's the only time I can, because I can't really do much myself because I can't see very well. That's the main thing. But I got gifted a telly, like a really big telly, like a 65-inch TV. Because obviously I can't see very well, so they thought, oh, if she's got a 65-inch TV, she'll be able to see it. So that's a bonus. I've got a big TV and kind of see that. But yeah, I'm doing okay, to be honest. It's just really nice to be home. Really nice. There's no feeling like being at home, really, is there? I have somebody come every lunchtime and help me cook my lunch. I think I haven't heard anything from community therapy yet. I've only been home 2 weeks, and I think it's quite a long wait. So I'm just waiting for them to get in contact, and then hopefully I should have physio once a week. The main thing is I just can't see much, which makes, obviously, I can't drive. Like, if this hadn't affected my vision, I'd be able to just get in the car and drive, which is really frustrating, obviously, because I used to drive since I could drive. Do you know what I mean? I did it straight away, and that was my independence. I'm hopefully, well, I can't go back to Liverpool University because I can't obviously get there. I can't drive there anymore. And I used to live in Liverpool, so I'd have to go back and redo it all. Even because even with the circumstances, they wouldn't let me do the exams. So I said, what I'm planning on doing now is hopefully doing the Open University, and obviously I can do it at home and get a bit more support. It is a bit difficult to stare at a laptop, obviously, because I used to do law, so you have to do a lot of reading. Yeah, I'd like to hopefully finish it. So that's in my future, and then hopefully move out somewhere on my own if I get a bit more independent, because my sight could come back, it could get worse, like no one really knows much. So when something like this happens to you, you can't just sit there and break down. Well, you could sit there and just break down, but like there's literally no point. Like, you can't change it. It's like I look completely different now. I literally look like people don't recognize me. I used to be like this really thin, blonde, long hair. I used to love running. I used to love sports and stuff like that. Now I can't do anything. I've gained about 6 stone because I've got problems with my pituitary gland. I've gained like 6 stone since being in hospital in like Well, I've gained like 6 stone in the space of about 10 weeks, probably, somehow, because I've got problems with my thyroid, problems with my hormones, and yeah, it does really get to you sometimes, but I'm alive at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? All the rehab people I've come into contact with have been amazing, and I wouldn't be here now if they hadn't have done their jobs so well. I'm very thankful because because I'm so young, really like it's pretty crazy how fast I've progressed, because it was since the 3rd of May, and they said like from the scans that they've never seen anyone survive anything that disastrous, but obviously because of my age and like the help of like therapists pushing me, and I'm not giving up and being determined, and I've got where I am now, which I'm pretty happy about, to be honest.